Now let's talk about some speaking strategies for you to score a great grade in your TOEFL. Let's go. So some general speaking strategies are, and this is the most important thing for you to have in mind here. When you are doing your speaking, you might face noise around you because you're going to be doing this in a study center. So you have to practice ignoring the noise around you. How are you going to be doing that? By practicing in noisy places. I always recommend my students going to cafes. You can even go to, I don't know, an airport or a shopping mall, a place where there is noise around you, and you have to practice the speaking. Usually in the test centers, it varies according to country, it varies according to city, but usually you have about 10 people in the same room as you. I had students who were lucky and had only 3 people in the same room, but I also had students who were very unlucky and had 30 people with them. In my case, there were 15 people, all right? So you will be speaking and somebody next to you is going to be speaking, somebody in front of you is going to be speaking. So you need to learn how to approach it with noise around you, right? Not only for the speaking, because people, they start in different moments in the test. So you might be finishing your listening and somebody is already speaking, or you might be starting your writing and somebody might still be speaking. So I recommend you doing the preparation, the full preparation in a place with noise. So I always recommend going to a cafe to prepare. Use the preparation time to organize your thoughts. Do not write like a crazy person, like writing a full sentences here, because you won't be able to write a whole paragraph in the preparation time. The preparation time has to be a moment to organize your ideas that you are going to be delivering here. Managing time is very important. So don't rush, all right? Do not rush. Don't finish too early. And also try to always time yourself so you don't run out of time. It's very important to conclude. They're looking for something super organized, that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So practice time management here. And I know this is hard. I know this is hard, but that's crucial. Stay calm while speaking. All right, you have to aim to sound confident. It has to be like a natural conversation that you would have with your friends or with a professor in the university. I know that's hard and that requires practice. I always recommend my students to have like a mate, somebody who can study with you, who can, if you have somebody who's also studying for the TOEFL, but recording yourself, talking to the mirror, talking as much as you can will put you at ease, okay, to relax you during the exam. And we have to practice ways to relax so we don't sound that nervous. But guys, you will be nervous in the TOEFL, okay? That's a given and that's okay. You have to try to sound confident and to sound relaxed. All right? Okay. Improve pronunciation. As I said, accents are not problems, but pronunciation is tested. You have to sound natural and you have to know the ups and downs of the English language. This comes with a lot of listening as well. So listening to the podcast I recommended, watching the documentaries I recommended, it's gonna help you in the speaking as well. Create an outline, organize your speech, follow the tips I gave here on organization. When we talk about the scoring criteria, try to remember those tips here because this tip is very important for you to score well in the TOEFL. This one, I know that I'm repeating myself, but I will repeat myself many times here. Record yourself and listen to yourself and see your development. Okay, listen to your development, check what you need to improve. Okay, I sounded nervous here. Oh, I had many grammar mistakes here and there. You need to listen to yourself, and then you can see how to improve. The TOEFL is not an intuitive exam, it's not something we do every day, so we need to get used to it. For the independent task, I recommend you practicing every day thinking about choices. So when you wake up, you have to think, oh, what would I like for breakfast today? I don't know, what would I like to drink? Coffee or tea? Well, I would prefer tea because of this reason. It reminds me of my time in England, for example. It gives me a sense of comfort when I drink tea. I think coffee is too bitter. I don't like coffee. You know, something like irrelevant for your life, do it. So in the morning, should I take the subway or the bus today? And then you start brainstorming in your everyday life choices, you know, like this or that. Okay? And finally, for the integrated task, combining the information of different sources. So for example, if you are reading in the morning, I don't know, a piece or an article in the BBC News app about a topic, try to find a YouTube video about the same topic and relate the information on both those topics here. Or I don't know, if you watched a documentary about the planet Earth, try to find a short article that talks about the same topics of the documentary. This is nice for you to be practicing making relationships between reading and listening materials. Okay, so let's check out the score guide here. What do you need to know? So your responses will be evaluated by a person that will take into consideration this criteria here: delivery, language use, and topic development. You need to know this by heart. I'll explain each one of those, but you need to know this by heart. Okay, so let's go. Let's start off with delivery here. What is delivery? Strong responses have a clear speech, accurate pronunciation, pacing, and intonation sounds. So here, what are we talking about? Pronunciation, pacing, and intonation, basically. They are testing how fluent you are, the way you deliver your speech, okay? The second one is language use. This includes your ability to use effectively both basic and more advanced language structures, as well as appropriate vocabulary. So here, what they're testing is grammar and vocabulary. If your grammar is great, if your vocabulary is clear, and if you're using this accordingly, according to what you are asked to do here. All right, so delivery, language use, and finally, topic development. Topic development refers to how thoroughly you address the question, how logically you organize your ideas. Here, the response usually take all the time given, you know, you should use all of the time. So here we are talking basically about how well you, how completely, right, you answer to the question and how logical your ideas are. So basically we're talking about organization and flow of ideas. And this one is the most important thing. You need to be very clear and very organized. All right, you cannot go off topic, you cannot be confusing. All right, I like to say, guys, you are not Agatha Christie, okay? That's not a mystery. You have to state the answer clearly in the way I taught you, in an organized manner. This criteria, knowing this, will help you getting an amazing score in the TOEFL. So we study this. We will talk a little bit more about the scoring here. The score, the scale of the score is based on this. This is a TOEFL score, okay? If you want to take between 26 and 30, you have a good score, which means a 4. You'll be scored from 1 to 4. We are looking for a 4 here, right? Which is good. If you take between 18 and 25, it's a fair score. I always say it's okay. Score is a good score, actually. If you take between 10 and 17 is a limited score, so it would be a 2. And if you take from 0 to 9, it's weak. Usually people take a weak score, 1, when they don't answer. Some people get so nervous that they don't answer. And then you have this kind of score. Or if you go completely out of topic here. But this will help when I explain how I grade my students. And in the practice, I will be teaching you here in detail how to grade yourselves. But just to show you, I will come back to this in a minute. That's how I grade my students, okay? So we have question 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? The questions. And we have here the criteria: delivery, language use, and topic development. So I usually listen to my students speak and then take some notes here. And then I give grades like a 4. The delivery was great. Oh, there are some grammar mistakes, so I'll give you a 3. But the topic development was great too. And then question 2, oh, they gave their opinion. They're not supposed to be giving their opinion. Or the language use was perfect, perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary, and great delivery. Oh, here they paused a lot. There was no ups and downs. There was a difficulty in the speech, so I have to give it 2 here. The language used though was great, and the organization was okay. All right. So that's how I usually grade my students. And I think it's nice for you to know this grading system, for you to, when you listen to yourself, you know what you have to be looking for. All right. You have to be looking for delivery, language use, and topic development. And you have to be grading yourself from 1 to 4 and aiming for a 4, right? Or a 3, depending on the score you need to enter the university you desire. Let's read together what a 4 score would look like, and then you are able to read afterwards in detail the other scores. Let's read this together here. What would be a 4 score? The general description. The response fulfills the demands of the task, with at most minor lapses in completeness. It is highly intelligible and exhibits coherent discourse. Our response at this level is characterized by the following. So, as you can see, you can make some mistakes and still get a 4. Okay, you have to be logical, you have to be clear, but they know that we are speakers of English as a second language, so they don't expect perfection. All right, don't try to be perfect here, because perfection is gonna make you make more mistakes, especially in delivery. So let's check delivery here. Delivery: generally well-paced flow. Speech is fluid, clear. It may include minor lapses. As I said, it's all right. You know, we are nervous. If sometimes do like, it's fine. Okay, you can still get a 4 score if you don't do this like 10 times, for example. Minor difficulties with pronunciation and intonation patterns, which do not affect the overall intelligibility of it. Let's go to language use now. The response demonstrates effective use of grammar and vocabulary. It exhibits a high degree of automaticity with good control of basic and complex structures. Some minor errors are noticeable but do not obscure meaning. You can have grammar mistakes here, but you cannot have simple grammar mistakes here. I always like to highlight this. When it's a simple tense, like simple present, simple past, you can't make mistakes here. But if you're doing something super elaborate, I don't know, present perfect continuous, or if you're doing fourth conditional and you make a lapse here or there, or if you misuse the vocabulary here or there, it's okay. You can still get a 4 score. And finally, topic development. Responses sustain is sustained and sufficient to the task. answer the question. The question was answered. That's why I highlight in the integrated no opinion, because they don't ask your opinion. It is generally well developed and coherent. Relationship between ideas are clear and easy to follow. Okay, so for you to get a 4 score, that's what you have to have in mind. Okay, so here we have the other ones if you want to take a look. So I have 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And again, here a way to grade yourself when you are listening to our recordings.